This is going to be very interesting. All right, so I got a few awesome, I guess, gadgets. Let's say. Let me see here. Make sure we are on. That is my daughter. She is a little whiny. Hello, hello. All right, here we go. We're on. Making sure we're good. All right. HDMI 3. Hello. All right. All right. So, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right. Man, this is actually gonna be very interesting. So, I've been reading a book of Numbers. All right, that's where we left off at. We left off at chapter 22. All right, so we're in the book of Numbers, chapter 22. All right, thank you very much for being on. Thank you very much. All right. All right. I'm just going to read the book of Numbers, chapter 22. All right. The children of Israel moved and camped to the plains of Moab on the side of the Jordan across from Jericho. Now Balak the son of Zippor saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites, and Moab was exceedingly afraid of the people because they were many. And Moab was sick with dread because of the children of Israel. So Moab said to the elders of Midian, now this company will lick up everything around on us, as an ox licks up the grass of the field. And Balak the son of Zippor was king of the Moabites at the time. Then he sent messengers to Balaam the son of Beor at Pethor, which is near the river in the land of the sons of his people, to call him, saying, look, a people has come from Egypt. See, they cover the face of the earth, and they are settling next to me. Therefore, please come at once. Curse this people for me, for they are too mighty for me. Perhaps I shall be able to defeat them and drive them out of the land. For I know that he whom you bless is blessed, and whom you curse is cursed. That is huge. All right. God will bless who he blesses and curse who he curses. So the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the diviner's fee in their hand, and they came to Balaam and spoke to him the word of Balak. And he said to them, lodge here tonight, and I will bring back word to you as the Lord speaks to me. So the princes of Moab stayed with Balaam. Then God came to Balaam and said, who are these men with you? So Balaam said to God, Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent to me, saying, look, a people has come out of Egypt, and they cover the face of the earth. Come now, curse them for me. Perhaps I shall be able to overpower them and drive them out. And God said to Balaam, you shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for they are blessed. So Balaam rose in the morning and said to the prince of Balak, go to your land, for the Lord has refused to give me permission to go with you. And the princes of Moab rose and went to Balak and said, Balaam refuses to come with us. Then Balak again sent princes more numerous and more able than they. And they came to Balaam and said to him, thus says Balak, the son of Zippor, please let nothing hinder you from the coming to me, for I will certainly honor you greatly, and I will do whatever you say to me. Therefore, please come, curse this people for me. Then Balaam answered and said to the servants of Balak, though Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not be beyond the word of the Lord my God to do less or more. Now therefore, please, you also stay here tonight, that I may know what more the Lord will say to me. And God came to Balaam at night and said to him, if the men come to call you, rise and go with them, but only the word which I speak to you, that you shall do. So Balaam rose in the morning and saddled his donkey and went with the prince of Moab. Then God angered with a wrath because he went, and the angel of the Lord took his stand in the way of the adversaries against him. and he was riding on his donkey, and his 2 servants were with him. All right. Now the donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand, and the donkey turned aside on the way and went into the field. So Balaam struck the donkey to turn her back onto the road. Then the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow path between the vineyard, with a wall on his side and a wall on this side. And then the donkey saw the angel of the Lord. She pushed herself against the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, so he struck her again. Then the angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn, either to the right hand or to the left. And when the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, she lay down under Balaam. So Balaam's anger was aroused, and he struck the donkey with his staff. Then the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, "What have I done to you? Would ye have struck me with these 3 times?" Then the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, "What have I done to you, that you have struck me these 3 times?" And Balaam said to the donkey, "Because you have abused me, I wish there was a sword in my hand, for now I would kill you." So the donkey said to Balaam, "Am I not your donkey on which you have ridden ever since I became yours to this day? Was I ever disposed to do this to you?" And he said, "No." Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand, and he bowed his head and fell flat on his face. All right, they worshiped the angel of the Lord. And the angel of the Lord said to him, "Why have you struck your donkey with these 3 times? Behold, I have come out to stand against you, because your way is perverse before me. The donkey saw me and turned aside from me these 3 times. If she had not turned aside me, surely I would also have killed you by now and let her live." And Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, "I have sinned, for I did not know you stood in the way against me. Now therefore, if it displease you, I will turn back." Then the angel of the Lord said to Balaam, "Go with the men, but only the word what I speak to you, that you shall speak." So Balaam went with princes of Balak. Now when Balak heard that Balaam was coming, he went out to meet him at the city of Moab, which is on the border of the Arnon and on the boundary of territory. Then Balak said to Balaam, "Did I not earnestly send you, calling for you? Why did you not come to me? Am I not able to honor you?" And Balaam said to Balak, "Look, I have come to you. Now have I any power at all to say anything, word that God puts in my mouth, that I speak?" So Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kirjath. All right. Then Balak offered oxen and sheep, and he sent some to Balaam and to the princes who were with him, up to the high places of Baal, that from he might observe the extent of people. Then Balaam said, here we go, Numbers chapter 23. All right, thank you very much for being on. All right, Numbers chapter 23. Then Balaam said to Balak, "Build 7 altars for me here, and prepare for me here 7 bulls and 7 rams." And Balak did just as Balaam had spoken. And Balak and Balaam offered a bull, a ram on each altar. Then Balaam said to Balak, "Stand by your burnt offering, and I will go. Perhaps the Lord will come to meet me. Whatever he shows me, I will tell you." So he went to a desolate height, and God met Balaam, and he said to him, "I have prepared the 7 altars, and have offered on each altar a bull, a ram." And the Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, "Return to Balak, thus you shall speak." So he returned to him, and there he was standing by his burnt offering, and all the prince of Moab. And he took up his oracle and said, "Balak, the king of Moab, has brought me from Aram, from the mountain of the east. Come curse Jacob for me, and come denounce Israel. How shall I curse whom God has not cursed? And how shall I denounce whom the Lord has not denounced? For from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. There a people dwelling alone, not reckoning itself among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob, or number 1/4 of Israel? Let me die the death of righteous, and let me end be like his. Then Balak said to Balaam, "What have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and look, you have blessed them bountifully." So he answered and said, "Must I not take heed to speak what the Lord has put in my mouth?" Balaam, verse 13. Then Balak said to him, "Please come with me to another place from which you may see them. You shall see only the outer part of them, and shall not see them all cursed from me to there." So he brought him to the field of Zophim, to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars, and offered a bull and a ram of each altar. All right, so we're going to, it says here, the place from which you may, all right. He brought him to the field of Zophim. All right, so we're going to look up the field of Zophim. Field of, see if I can find it real quick. Zophim. Let's see if I can find an image. All right, field of Zophim. So it says here, field of Zophim. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find it. Israel. I'm trying to see if I can find it real quick. See if I can show y'all. Let me see here. Field of Zophim. Let me see here. We have Mount Olives, Mount Zorpha, Mediterranean, Besor, Arnon. Not. Let me see here. So it says, I'm trying to find. So he answered and said, "Must I heed to speak to the Lord and put him out?" Then Balak said to him, "Outer part shall not to them." He brought them to the field of Zophim, to the top of Pisgah. Okay, so my bad. It says it Pisgah, which is this one. My bad. All right, here we go. All right, so we're looking at right here. All right, so this is the map. All right, this is the map right here, and this is Pisgah. So we're talking about right here. So we have Israel over here. That's Israel, and this is taking place a little to the east of Israel. All right, right there, 1571 feet. All right, that's where we're at. All right, so there we go. All right, so he brought him to the field of Zophim at the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars, and offered a bull ram at each altar. And he said to Balak, "Stand here by your burnt offering, while I meet the Lord over there." Then the Lord met Balaam to put his mouth and go back to Balak, and shall speak. So he came to him, and there he was standing by his burnt offering, and the princes of Moab with him. And Balak said to him, "What has the Lord spoken?" Then he took up the oracle and said, "Rise up, Balak, and here listen to me." All right. Rise up, Balak, here listen to me, son of Zippor. God is not a man that he should lie, nor a son of man that he should repent. Has he said, and I will he not do? Or has he spoken, and will he not make it good? Behold, I receive a command to bless. He has blessed, and I cannot reverse it. All right. Behold, I have received a command to bless, and he has blessed it. I cannot reverse it. He has not observed iniquity in Jacob, nor has he seen wickedness on Israel. The Lord his God is with him, and the shadow of a king is among them. God brings them out of Egypt. He has strength like wild ox. For there is no sorcery against Jacob, nor any divination against Israel. It now must be said of Jacob and Israel, "Oh, what God has done. Look, a people rise like lioness. All right, and lifts itself up like a lion. It shall not lie down until it's devoured. Pray and drink the blood of the slain." Then Balak said to Balaam, "Neither curse them nor bless them at all." So Balaam answered and said to Balak, "Did I not tell you, saying, all that the Lord speak, that I must do?" Then Balak said to Balaam, "Please come, I will take you to another place. Perhaps it will please God that you may curse them for me from there." So Balak took Balaam to the top of Peor that overlooks the wasteland. All right, so now we're in Peor. So where is Peor? So he took them to Peor. All right, we're gonna find Peor. Let's go to Peor. Peor in the Bible. All right, so we're here now. We are in Peor, right here. So that is near Bethlehem. You see that? Near Bethlehem. So that's where we're at. We're near Bethlehem. So that's where we at this moment. So we have, yeah. So if you look up, it goes Hebron. I believe that's where Abraham was buried. Abraham and his wife. Hebron, right here. All right, so we have Peor, right, very close to Bethlehem. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, here we go. God brings them out of Egypt as strength, nations' enemies. All right, shall break their bones and pierce them with his arrows. He bows down. He lies down as a lion, and as a lion who shall rouse him. All right, blessed is he who bless you, and cursed is he who cursed you. Balaam. Here we go. So he took up the utterance of Balaam, the son of Beor, and the utterance of the man whose eyes open, the utterance of him who hears the words of God, has knowledge of the Most High, who sees the vision of Almighty, who falls down with his eyes wide open. I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star shall come out of Jacob, a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and batter the barrel of Moab, and destroy all his sons of Timulit, and Edom, and shall be a possession. Seir also the enemy shall be possession, while Israel does valiantly. Out of Jacob one shall have dominion, and destroy the remains of the city. Hello. There we go. All right, then he looked up at Amalek, and he took up his oracle and said, Amalek was first among the nations, but shall be last until he perishes. Then he looked into Kenites, and he took up his oracle and said, Firm is your dwelling place, and your nest is set on the rock. Nevertheless, Cain shall be burned long until Shur carries you away captive. Then he took up his oracle and said, Alas, who shall live when God does this? But ships come from the coast of Cyprus. All right. And they shall afflict Ashur and afflict Eber, and so shall Amalek until he perishes. So Balaam rose and departed and returned to his place. Balak also went his way. All right. So that is Book of Numbers, chapter 23 to 25. All right. Thank you very much for being on. This is just a test. All right. So we're going to do chapter 25, Numbers. Now Israel remained in Acacia Grove, and the people began to commit harlotry with the women of Moab. All right, so we're now in it says here we're now in Acacia Grove. All right, so we just left Peor. So remember, they're trying to get to the land of Israel, but God pretty much has cursed them. All right, and told them, hey, you're not going to the land of Israel until this generation perishes. All right, so now they are in Acacia Grove. So let me look that up real quick and show you Acacia Grove in the Bible. All right, so let's see Acacia Grove. Here we go. On the map, it's, let me see here, Acacia Grove, biblical setting, where we at? Yeah, Gideon, Jericho. Let me see here. I'm trying to find Acacia Grove. Where's it at? So it should be right here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Acacia Grove, right here. All right. We got Plain of Moab. So they're dealing a lot with the Moabites. All right. Here we go. 11 up there. The Jordans over here. Jordan's on this side to little northeast. All right. So that's where we're at right now. We're in Acacia Grove. All right, that's where we're at. Let me see if I get a better map. Right here, we got the Moabites. Let me see if it's better. So we got the Red Sea, Moab. All right, so we're in this area. All right, that's where we're at. So they're literally traveling everywhere except Israel. All right, that's crazy. So that's literally what's going on here. So we got Canaan. We have Hebron. Let me see here. Gilead, King. All right, so here we go. And it came to pass, here we go, 25. Now Israel remained in Acacia Grove. Here we go. And the people began to commit harlotry with the women of Moab. So they're close to Moab, and they are committing harlotry with the women of Moab. All right, they're intermingling. They invited the people to sacrifice of their gods, and the people ate and bowed down to the gods, lowercase gods. So Israel was joined to Baal of Peor, and the anger of the Lord was aroused against Israel. So they're just falling into it. All right, they're like near Moab, and they're like, well, they get with the woman there, and God is getting mad. All right, remember that generation has been cursed. All right, let's get it. Then the Lord said to Moses, take all the leaders of the people and hang the offenders before the Lord out of the sun, and fierce anger of the Lord may turn away from Israel. So Moses said to the judges of Israel, every one of you kill his men who are joined to Baal of Peor. All right. And indeed, one of the children of Israel came to present to the brethren a Midianite, a woman, in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all congregation of children of Israel who were weeping at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Now when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through the man Israel and the woman through her body. So the plague was stopped among the children of Israel. And those who died in the plague were 24,000. 24,000. All right, then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, has turned back my wrath from the children of Israel, because he has zealous with my zeal among them, so that I did not consume the children of Israel in my zeal. All right. So they are being punished. Man, therefore say, behold, I give to him my covenant of peace, and it shall be to him and his descendants after him a covenant of everlasting priesthood, because he has zealous for his God, and made atonement for his God, and made atonement for the children of Israel. Man, I hate when that happens. Why does that happen? All right. All right. So here we go. Reuben was firstborn of Israel. The children of Reuben were the Hanak, the family of Hananites, of Palu, the family of the Peluites, of Hezron, the family of Hezronite, of Carmi, the family of Carmites. These are the families of the Reubenites. Those who were numbered of them were 43,730. The son of Palu was Eliab. The son of Eliab was Nemu. All right, so they're doing another kind of biddy here. All right, who contended against Moses and Aaron in the company of Korah. Then they contended against the Lord, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them. So that's a story that happened before. All right, earlier in the book of Numbers. Nevertheless, the children of Korah did not die. The sons of Simeon, according to their families, were. So it goes down the line of, all right, who's all left? All right, we just killed off, let me see, 43,730 people. We just killed off 43,000 people. All right, remember they started, they got with the harlotries of Moab, which is nearby. All right, so like the local woman, and God got angry and killed them off. All right, that's what happened. This is tough to read, not gonna lie. These are the families, and then it goes down to each family. All right. Oh, damn. I forgot about the prayer line. Yeah, I have your charger. All right. I am going to cut it there. Let me see here. I have your charger. That's because the iPad wasn't charged. Sorry.
That's alright.
There you go. I forgot it. My days are still thrown off. I forget that it's Monday. All right. Thank you for being on. All right. So we're finishing Numbers chapter 26. All right. We have the new generation. I remember the God cursed the generation that was going to go into the land of Israel and said, hey, this generation is not going to go. It's going to be the next generation. And that the generation that was cursed actually ended up mingling with the harlots of Moab, which is nearby from where they're at. All right, so they're actually right now at this moment, they are in, let's see, where was it at? They were in, well, near Moab. All right, and they got with the woman from there. So that's what's going on. And now there's another accountability, because in the book of Numbers, there's a lot of accountability. It's like, all right, the tribe of this were this many, and this is, the son of so-and-so, the son of so-and-so. All right. So that's what's going on in the rest of Numbers chapter 26. It's a long read if you want to read it, but it's something like this. The sons of Joseph, according to their families, by Manasseh and Ephraim were the sons of Manasseh of Mitch, and it goes down the list. The son of so-and-so, the son of so-and-so. So if you want to read that, man, it's a long read. All right, so all 26, all of chapter 26 is giving you an accountability. All right, it's telling you who's all still alive, like all the numbers. All right, literally. So here we go, chapter 27 of the book of Numbers. Thank you very much for being on. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for being on. All right, I really appreciate it. All right. Let me see if I could. All right, chapter 27. Then came the daughter of Zelophehad, the son of Hefer, and the son of Gilead, the son of the son of Manasseh, from the families of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, and here the names of his daughters. So more names. And they stood before Moses, before Eleazar the priest, and before the leaders and all the congregation by the doorway of the tabernacle of meeting, saying, our father died in the wilderness, but he has not, and companion of the two together against the Lord, in company with Korah, and he died in his own sin, and he has no sons. So he died with no sons. All right. Why should the name of our father be removed from among his family because he has no son? Give us possession among our father's brothers. So they want some land. They want some possessions. All right. There was no sons, but they want possession. So Moses brought their case before the Lord. So like, hey, let's take it to God. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, the daughters of Zelophehad speak, was it right? You shall surely give them a possession of inheritance among their father, brother, and cause the inheritance of their father to pass to them. So like, all right, we're going to give you some inheritance. All right, so they came to Moses, and Moses went to God, and God told him, yes, give them an inheritance. And you shall speak to the children of Israel, saying, if a man dies and has no sons, then you shall cause his inheritance to pass to his daughter. The only way the daughter can get an inheritance, if there is no sons. If there's no son, if you have no sons, you only had daughters, hey, the inheritance goes to your daughter. That's the only way. If you have a son, the inheritance goes to the son. All right. If he has no daughters, then you shall give it inheritance to his brothers. If he has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to his father's brother. And if his father has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to his relative closest to him and his family, and he shall possess it, and it shall be to the children of Israel a statute of judgment, just as the Lord commanded Moses. All right, so that's how the inheritance goes. All right, now here we go. Chapter 27. Joshua is going to be the next leader. So remember, after the book of Numbers, we have the book of Deuteronomy, and then we have the book of Joshua. So we're about to introduce Joshua. Well, we already had Joshua introduced earlier, but we're going to talk more about Joshua here. Numbers 27, verse 12. Now the Lord said to Moses, go up to the Mount Abiram. So now we're looking at the Mount Abiram. All right. So where is the Mount Abiram at? All right. So I'm going to give you some images here. Mount Abiram. Abiram. If I can spell it. All right. Let me see if I can get you a map. All right. Here we go. Mount Nebo. Here we go. Let's see if I can find you Mount Abiram. All right, Mount Abiram. So this is where they're at this moment. Let me see if I can find you. It's on these maps. Let me see, Map Nebo. Let me see if I can find you a good. Okay, I just want to know where Mount Abiram is. All right, let me see here. Mount Abiram. I guess it's right here somewhere. Abiram, right here near the Dead Sea. All right, so this is where the Bible is currently taking place at. All right, Numbers chapter 27, verse 12. All right, it says, now the Lord said to Moses, go up into this Mount Abiram and see the land which I have given to the children of Israel. So go to Abiram and look. So he's going to look from Abiram all the way across. And you see Jerusalem right there. And the land of Canaan, which is going to be the land of Israel. So he's looking from Mount Abiram right here. He's looking from right here to over here. All right. So he's looking at the place. You see the Dead Sea. All right. That's where the Dead Sea scrolls. I don't know if y'all have heard of that before. All right. So they were here in Moab. And they got with the women of Moab, and God killed them off pretty much. All right. And now he's like, all right, go to Mount Abiram, go here, and look at the land that I'm going to give you. This land right here. All right. So that's where we're currently that's literally where we're at right now. So here we go. All right. Now the Lord spoke, saying, all right, here we go. Now the Lord said to Moses, go up to Mount Abiram and see the land which I have given to the children of Israel. And when you have seen it, you also shall be gathered to your people as Aaron your brother was gathered. For in the wilderness of Zin, during the strife of the congregation, you rebelled against my command to hallow me at the waters before their eyes. All right. Thank you very much for being on. Please subscribe. I very much appreciate it. These are the waters of Meribah, Kadesh, and the wilderness of Zin. Then Moses spoke to the Lord, saying, let the Lord of God of the spirits of all flesh set a man above the congregation, who may go out before them and go in before them, who may lead them out and bring them in, that the congregation of the Lord may not be like sheep which have no shepherd. And the Lord said to Moses, take Joshua the son of Nun, which you, a man in whom in the spirit lay your hand on him, set him before Eleazar the priest and before all the congregation, and inaugurate him in their sight. So he's about to be inaugurated. Hey, Joshua, lay hands on him and inaugurate him. Joshua is going to fight his way into the land of Israel. All right. Spoiler alert. We got 2 more books to get there. And you shall give some of your authority to him, that all the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient. So like, hey, you're going to inaugurate him and they're going to be obedient to Joshua. I'm choosing Joshua. He shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall inquire before the Lord for him by the judgment of Urim, at which the word they shall go out, and his words they shall come in, and all the children of Israel with him, all congregations. So Moses did as the Lord commanded him. He took Joshua, set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation. He laid his hand on him, and inaugurated him, just as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses. So Moses inaugurated Joshua. All right, and that is chapter 27. Now we're going to chapter 28. All right, chapter 28. Thank you very much for being on. Please subscribe. Please like. Please let me know who's on. Keep going. Hey, my brother. Good evening. Leopoldo, how's it going? Hey, I just looked at the comments. My bad. Thank you very much for being on. Here we go. Chapter 28. Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, command the children of Israel and say to them, my offering, my food for my offering made by fire, as a sweet aroma to me, that ye shall be careful to offer to me at the appointed time. And you shall say to them, this is the offering made by the fire, which you shall offer to the Lord. 2 male lambs in their first year, without blemish, day by day, as a regular burnt offering. The one lamb you shall offer in the morning, the other lamb you shall offer in the evening. All right, and 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering, mixed with 1/4 of hin. It is a regular burnt offering which ordained at Mount Sinai for a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to the Lord. And its drink offering shall be 1/4 of the hin for each lamb. In a holy place you shall pour out the drink to the Lord as an offering. So they're doing an offering here, okay? The other lamb you shall offer in the evening as the morning grain offering and the drink offering. You shall offer it as an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to the Lord. So the sweet aroma, all right? Here we go. And on the Sabbath day, 2 lambs in their first year, without blemish, and 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil, with his drink offering. This is a burnt offering for every Sabbath besides the regular burnt offering and his drink. Let me see if I can find you an image of the burnt offering. Let me see here. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find you. Let me see if I can find. That's just too. No, I don't think I'll be able to find it. Let me see if I can find offering to be observed. Numbers 28, 12. Okay, so here we go. All right, so this is the offering. So chapter 28, you're gonna have the. Well, I can't read that. Portions of flour, and for a meat offering. All right, 28 Numbers 28:11. It's gonna be. I'll just read it right now. At the beginning of your months, you shall present a burnt offering of the Lord, 2 young bulls. So 2 young bulls, literally what we're looking at, 2 young bulls. And that's literally like pork chops or something. Anyways, it says here, burn out 2 young bulls, 1 ram, 7 lambs, and in their first year without blemish, 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil for each bull, 2/10 of an ephah. All right, so here's, I guess this is the ephah right here. Let me see, that's the. All right, I guess that's the ephah. 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour. So you gotta have fine flour. So there we go, fine flour. All right, let me see what else we got. Here we go. This should be 28 flour portion of. All right, so that's the offering here. So that's what it takes to. This is the Old Testament, by the way. So we don't have to do this anymore. FY. All right. Yeah. So these are just photos I'm pulling up. Them doing an offering. It's a lot of work, man. To do an offering, it's a lot of work. Thank God we don't have to do that no more. All right, our offering has already been made. Jesus Christ was our offering. All right, so we don't have to do all this. We don't have to do the ram, the young bull. Like, we don't have to do all that. Fine flour. No, our offering has already been made for our sins. All right, we already had our sin offering, our burnt offering. All right, Jesus Christ has died for us on the cross, so we're good. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Month 28:11. At the beginning of your month, you shall present the burnt offering to the Lord, 2 young bulls. That's the one we just read. 28:13. All right, let's go to 28:13. And 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour, which you saw, mixed with oil as a grain offering for each lamb as a burnt offering of sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to the Lord. Their drink offering shall be half a hin of wine for a bull, 1/3 of a hin for a ram, and 1/4 of a hin for a lamb. This is the burnt offering for each month throughout the months of the year. Also 1 kid of the goats. So that's why you saw in the photo, there was like baby goats. All right, as a sin offering to the Lord shall be offered besides the regular burnt offering and his drink offering. On the 14th day of the first month is the Passover of the Lord, and on the 15th day of the month is the feast of unleavened bread, shall be eaten for 7 days. On the first day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no contrary work, and you shall present an offering made by fire as a burnt offering to the Lord. 2 young bulls, 1 ram, 7 lambs, and their first year. So much offering, so much. There's a lot going on here. Their grain offering shall be a fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah. You shall offer for a bull, and 2/10 for a ram. You shall offer 1/10 of an ephah for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 goat as a sin offering. Hey, just thank God that we don't have to do these offerings no more. All right. Thank the Lord we don't have to do. Our offering has already been made for us. All right. Jesus Christ was our offering. So we don't have to look for a bull. We don't have to look for a ram. We don't have to look for, we don't have to get fine flour. We don't have to do any of that. All right. Our offering has already been made for us. Thank the Lord. This manner you shall offer the food of offering made by fire daily for 7 days as a sweet aroma to the Lord. It shall be offered between the regular burnt offering and his drink offering. And on the 7th day you shall have holy convocation. You shall have a holy. You shall do no customary work. All right, so it's very repetitive here. Also, on the day of the first fruits, when you bring a new grain of offering to the Lord at your feast of the week, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work. You shall present a burnt offering and a sweet aroma to the Lord, 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in their first year, with their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil. Here we go. 3/10 of the ephah for each bull, 2/10 for 1 ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 kid of the goats to make atonement for you. Be sure they are without blemish. You shall present them with their drink offering besides the regular burnt offering. All right. Here we go. It's grain offering. All right. So we're at Numbers chapter 29, offering Feast of the Trumpets. Let me see if I can find you a photo of that. Numbers 29. All right. Book of Numbers 29. Book of 29. Here we go. All right. '29. Here we go. Book of Numbers 29. And there's the offering being made right here. All right. So that's the offering being made. All right. This is literally what's going on here. So it's going to be Numbers chapter 29. All right. That's literally what we're going to be looking at. Look at that. All right. So here we go. And in the 7th month, on the first day of the month, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work, for it is a day of blowing the trumpets. You shall offer a burnt offering, a sweet aroma to the Lord, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in their first year without blemish. All right. Their grain offering shall be fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of ephah, and for the bull, 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10. Here we go. And 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. All right. Also 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering to make atonement for you, besides the burnt offering with the grain offering, the new moon, the regular burnt offering, drink offering, according to the accordance. All right. So this is what's going on here. All right. They're making the offering. All right. On the 10th day of the 7th month, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall afflict your souls. You shall not do any work. You shall present a burnt offering to the Lord as a sweet aroma, and a young bull, 1 ram, 7 lambs in their first year. Be sure they are without blemish. The grain offering shall be of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah, and the bull 2/10 for the 1 ram, and 1/10 of each of the 7 lambs. All right. Also 1 kid of the goats. So it's just showing how to do these offerings. All right. So that is Numbers chapter 29. All right. Numbers chapter 29. So I get so it's gonna be that. All right. All right. Here we go. On the 15th day of the 7th month, you shall have a holy convocation. So that's what happens. All right. So that is chapter 29. So chapter 30, we're going to read the laws concerning vows. All right, laws concerning vows. Thank you very much. I am going to log off. Thank you very much for being on. Hope you have subscribed. Leopoldo, thank you for being on. Christian believer, thank you for go. All right, thank you very much for being on.